Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to do two things. The first one is I want to finish up on our last project. I have changed my mind, which any person who does this knows that just plain sneaks in and happens. I wanted to share what I had done when I was working alone in my studio without the camera on. And then I thought I would do something a little bit different. I thought you might be interested, I don't know. But I found on a table under a pile 1, 2, 3 folders of goodies. And I thought you might like to see them. It's kind of going to be something in the my findings are just going to be a show and tell and a chat. So let's look back at this one, the focal paper, and I put a label on it. And then on the back, I found a flower to play up the color theme and another label. I also then decided that these would do me more good separate than together. Plus, they're rather hefty. So, these are going to be tucked in my ephemera box. I'm going to start a new one. And these are going to be some of the first contributors. So we have this one, and then blue. I decided to distress the outside edges of this. It took me till the very end to make that decision. And I found this, which is so hard to find as a true blue flower. And I think I've run out. I think this is my last one. And the focal paper with a label waiting to be added to. This was great fun to make, as you can imagine. And the last one, the focal color here is kind of a rose pink, and a label that worked in this direction. I found it at the very bottom of the pile, Lucky Carol. And then on the back I have another flower from my collection, and of course it was a lot easier to find this color. I couldn't resist that one because, well, just because. So, these three are finished, and I thought I would share them with you. I'm going to set them aside and let the glue dry, and take out the goodie pile. On a pile, under a pile, with quite a bit of dust on it. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a law that said dust could not enter the place that we do our playing? But it does get in all over. So, the first one is this one. All I saw was 2020 scanned runoff art. And scanned, oh my, yes, scanning. I had forgotten about that because I hadn't done it in so long. So, I thought I'd share with you. First, aren't I helter-skelter today? I cut these pieces of paper down. I don't know, these digitals are at least 3 years old, and I don't know whose they are anymore, but I like them so much I cut them down and stuck them in here, which I should not have done. But these are my watercolors, which I scanned. And for some reason, I must have had a good reason at the time, I scanned them on heavy-duty copy paper, and paper that is a little bit heavier. So I've got 2 hefties here, and I don't remember doing these. It's quite a few years ago. I think it's probably from 2018. I think it might even be longer. It might be 2017. I was learning. So, I have these, and I'm just picturing bits and pieces of this. What to do with historic old art. And some more, oh, see, it's 1217. Again, for some reason, I did a lighter weight and a heavier weight, and I'm just thinking that maybe I ought to get back to doing a little bit more of this. And that looks like it was on watercolor paper. Doodling, my very favorite thing. Collaging. Lots of doodling on this one. Another doubler from 218. Wash-up paper. Oh, I remember. These papers were in a binder. Let me get this one up right so that you can see it this way. Okay. Or, no, Carol, this way. Have some sense. Alrighty. My favorite blue. And I can see the watercolor paper. So, this was from something that I had done so many years ago, maybe 5, that, and I just love it. It just makes me happy. Probably the colors with my very favorite sepia here. And then there's this one. I have to decide which way is up here. Yet there it is. And a piece of collage that I loved so much, a swan that I was saving, and I decided to use on this one. These have great potential to be played with, to be turned into something else. And some more. Getting to the bottom here. These were now up into 2018 in the January and August. Collage. Why am I thinking that might not? Yes, I think that might not be watercolor. That's collage. Splash background. Some stencils. Oh, I was branching out into using more than one medium. And this one makes me very happy. There again, I don't know why. And it looks again like it's on watercolor paper. Lots of doodling. I was just starting doodling. Last but not least, this was a background. I can see that I had a plan here. I have a little pencil mark. I did do something deliberately here. It just didn't happen. Sky, I like that. I like that sky. An old piece of watercolor paper, even has staple holes in it. But so pretty. Such potential for prettiness. And this one. Jack and the Beanstalk, right away. That's what I think of. So, and see how different it looks on, on the heavier paper. So many things to learn and know when using a printer. So this was the first of my finds. Many possibilities here. You'll be seeing these again. Number 1. Number 2. This is a masterboard that I did, and I was having a pink day, as you can tell. I think I shared this when I had Etsy, which I have given up because it's just that one thing too many for me to deal with right now. I think I was offering these as Digis, But there's even a piece of fabric on here. I can see it. I can almost touch it. So I'm good. This is on the little bit heavier weight. I think this is from Michaels. They're white recollections, a little heavier weight, heavier at least than my heavyweight printer paper. But I think this is going to have another life, cut up the way it was supposed to be. This I just used recently, and here another on heavier paper, a combination of papers and an original stamp. Oh, I did enjoy doing that, but don't have enough time to get back to it. And this is the one that accompanied this one. It has the same family of things in it, plus all of this doodling that I couldn't resist. And this is on rather heavy paper. This one is on rather heavy paper. And here is the paper that goes with. I enjoy doing those, but they're very strong. Maybe the cover of a journal. That will have to go into my memory banks because that's makes me ponder. And here, some very old French music paper that I copied, and I believe that used to be in my Etsy shop when I had one. And I use lace and yes, I stencil. I use lace as a, and then I sprayed the colors on to this in my spray box. Another thing that I want to get back to, on a heavier weight paper, but a pretty neutral, almost like a paisley. And here are some original pieces of ephemera that I've had tucked away, as you can see, from 1899, 1901, 1900. More of the music paper. Oh, this one even has its own clip. Let's see what's in the clip. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that just pretty? And the color of the original paper, when printed off, turned this color. I have no idea on earth why. And this one, my, wasn't music pretty in its day? For organ and piano. Isn't this delightful? Ah! This one says 1940 on it. Pretty, pretty, but very, very deco. And here is the effect on white paper and tan paper. Would you believe? Printing has a life of its own. Another master board. I'm thinking, knowing me, that this is the way it went. But maybe not, because some of them are lying on their sides. This is fun. Finding goodies that from ages ago. This is the original. I can feel the acrylic. I can feel the collage. This is I can see that's a tissue, acrylic, background stamps. Wouldn't that be pretty? Wouldn't that be pretty cut up? I'm going to have to be doing some chopping. And what have we here? We have something that if I hit you on the head, you would be, gosh, you'd be on your knees. Good heavyweight paper. I think it might, I couldn't have put this on watercolor paper, because I do have some heavy watercolor paper like this. And here, this is the original. I can feel it because I can feel the paint. I can feel the pieces of collage paper. I can see all the stamping. Not too much stencil, doodling here. Yes, that's some tissue paper. And another one of the backgrounds. I just thought they are so pretty for backgrounds. I don't know how it got onto the back. Probably that I didn't want to waste this heavy paper. Oh my, didn't I do masterboards? Yes, and I can feel them here. This is acrylic because I can feel those centers of the flowers. My, I like that. I'm going to use that for something only probably because of the coloration. Just love the colors. And some of my favorite stencils, one on top of the other. Here. Oh, my. Oh, so much that you want to do, and not enough time to do it. Oh, here's another one of those heavy papers. Goodness, I'm sure now that I look at it, yes, it's watercolor paper. Why I did that, I have no idea. Oh my, okay. Yes, this is the original. I can feel the birdie, see the stamps. Having a birdie on here makes it directional. And another background paper, again on watercolor paper. Oh, I remember doing these about 5 years ago. This is all acrylic paint mixed with white shade that I could make it so that I would have it if I needed it for a particular, as you can see. I used it. This was fun doing. And now I have all of these shades for anything I might want to use them for. This is something that you might want to think about doing. This is on lightweight card. Making the purple was difficult, believe it or not. The yellow was fun. I don't know what happened there. I have no idea. But, you know, there might be a time when you need that section right there. And of course, and I did it again. I must have had a reason. Pink. Pinks. And these I did maybe 8 years ago in watercolor class. And then I had them printed. And I didn't realize the paper was going to be quite as mottled as this is. I do wish you could see that. Do you see it right there? So I did do this kind of thing in a class and enjoy it thoroughly. I put these to the back, and I thought, you know, wouldn't that be a pretty cover for something something? Definitely a front and a back. Oh, you'll have to join me in thinking about this. Any tips that you might have, I'll be glad to consider. So this was number 2. I can still see it sitting there for a couple of years, wondering if it was ever going to be opened, and it happened, finally. Number 3, Digis. I guess, as I said, from my Etsy shop when I had did Digis. This was from a girl I painted when I started. Let me have a little bit of water. I'm getting dry mouth. That's better. I used her as the focal, and I added my original stamp, my stamp, of course doodling, pieces of lace in ecru and white, and that's what happened. This is on card. This is the piece that goes with this. Again, my stamps, some stencils. Now here she is before she was collaged. I just kept this, I don't know why. Probably because I was happy with it, yes. I like her coloration even more than this one. And there she is. When I cut her out and added white lace and nothing else. I didn't get to the rest. Maybe we'll do this. What do you think? I wish you could tell me. Maybe we'll do this, see what we can do on it now after these years have passed. It might be fun. I'm going to put this in the front of the pile. Oh, more of those. More of those. Some of these. Oh yes, that we've already seen. This is the way a Digi would look. That's why I ran them off. Now this obviously goes with this one. Oh, purple. I was a purple girl, wasn't I just? Piece of paper, dictionary, stencil, stamps. And a piece of, I just copied a piece of lace that I had. I found this at an antique mall. And I just thought that these two were pretty together. And these are handkerchiefs. And weren't they pretty in their day? I collected them. I have quite a few. Not all of them got turned into Digis, but so possible to use. And now that people are slow stitching, I don't think my fingers are ready for that yet. Oh, woe's me! But weren't they something? And they were poked out, usually poked out of a pocket or up a sleeve. I remember my grandmother used to put them up her sleeves. And here's the background color on here is supposed to be is black. And what was this? Oh yes, this was some lace that I had that I copied, scanned, and then silly girl that I am, I cut it out. I wanted it to show background, so I cut half of this sheet out so that it would show. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to use that for, but that's waiting for me. Love this piece of lace. So, here it is on cream-colored paper. This also. This is a favorite because these little medallions are so handy. They come in handy. They can be cut. They're not wonderful. I don't think they're as old as some of this lace. Maybe this is from the 50s, but and this I think this color is what used to be described as puce, a brownish purple. Yes, any of you have heard, that's a color, and it's called puce, P-U-C-E. That's my idea of puce. Some more lace. These are pieces of paper lace. Isn't that something? And you can see right through it, all of each one of these holes. The things that were made that we didn't appreciate, they'd be squashed up and used after they were used. That was a coaster for a glass. And this is a piece of my old lace. And what is this? Let me get into my memory bank. I must have done it because it's me and my colors. And I must have had fun because I bothered to scan it. Can't say anything else about that because I don't know, and I don't know when. Probably the last 5 years. Some more lace. Now the same lace, and what it looks like. Nope. Keep going, Carol. There it is. Same lace, 2 different colors, and that's the difference. I loved that factor. Just loved it. And the pieces that I showed you on white paper. How different this looks on white. I think this is Michael's paper. And an antique letter from 1868, the original that I had. And before I started to do junk journaling, I remember selling this on Etsy. So someone got an original, and now I would crawl over ground glass to have it back. But that's what happens. That's life. Oh, here's another one. These are pieces of my posies. I still have some posies left. Lace. Newish, but pretty. Stencils. Stamps. Piece of lace. There I am. There is the black and white tissue paper. This looks so dimensional. This looks as though I could put my fingernail up under these. And that's the way it came out on white. And then I did I remember doing a paper to go with on my, one of my very favorite stencils. So, happy making. More of the letter, and this on photo paper. And last but not least, I got a collection of papers from the late 1700s. And who she is, she's Elizabeth Marquesa of Stanford. And look at the foxing. That's what happens to paper. The edges go a little bit, and it foxes like that, and I love it. I mean, I just do. I might not have too much reason to have her, but I sure do love that paper and what happened to it. Here again, I ran it off to see what would happen, and this is what we got. I think I'm more partial to this one. And here is Horatio Nelson, Viscount Nelson, Lord Nelson. And look at that. Look at his piece of paper. See, I think that's just the cat's whiskers. There were quite a few portraits, and they're in one of these drawers somewhere. So, I hope that you enjoyed a little bit of a share of my findings. And these things from ages past do pile up and do make you happy to look at them again. She's on top. I'm thinking we might just play all over her in a different way, a 2022 way. If you have enjoyed our visit, I would appreciate your letting me know whether that you have any ideas about this and what might happen with them. And I would appreciate your giving me a thumbs up, leaving a comment. I do answer them, and I would certainly love to hear any suggestions you might have about this little trove of old goodies. And I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Bye now.